everyone, welcome to another Speedpaint. It's been a while now, hasn't it? I've been away on holiday for a bit, so hopefully after this, my uploads will be more frequent. I'm not promising anything though. In case you were wondering what I was doing, I'm tracing a scanned copy of my sketch in my sketchbook using my lightbox. I typically do this a lot for traditional black and white art, but I didn't do it in the past because my old lightbox just wasn't big enough, so it was a bit awkward to watch me doing it. But this new one is beautiful, so thank you, Dad. Maybe I'll record myself sketching again sometime, but only if people want to see that. So, today, we have yet another Bendy in the Ink Machine Speedpaint. Who's excited for the new Bendy game? I've been getting into the mood for more Bendy stuff, especially because they recently, finally, released the books over in the UK for Bendy. I was so crazy that I pre-ordered the books and also the audiobook. I haven't gotten through the employee handbook yet because I've been drawing like mad. Those who have been following me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram would have seen. I've been trying to use Twitter and Instagram more lately because I'm going to be honest, I suck at using social media. It just makes me really tired when I have to upload on like 3 different platforms. Anyway, the book Dreams Come True is definitely worth a read. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I really hope we get the first chapter of Bendy Dark Revival soon, because the trailer's been announced for fall, and fall is basically now. I've been anxiously checking up on it though. What are your speculations on the trailers for the new game? I've got a few theories of my own, but I'm not going to share them just because it may be spoilers and stuff. Speaking of games, my Bendy Switch game finally got played. I'm saying it like that because I didn't play it. I didn't actually play it. It was my friend Nix who did it. Shout out to Nix, you're a gem. We were up for 36 hours and I really don't remember much of it. And in fact, we're both convinced that we hallucinated the entire game or something. But if I check my Switch, it's definitely played through. So we definitely did it. I just don't remember it. But next time, if I'm ever gonna actually like play it myself, I'm definitely getting a Switch controller because the Joy-Cons are kind of awful to control. Anyway, let's move on to what I'm drawing today because I've been rambling on through this. I of course had to draw Boris because he's a darling. He's literally a sweetheart apart from the one named Tom. I wouldn't want to pick a fight with him. I found it quite hard to draw him because coming up with a pose was kind of hard, and also Boris is just kind of awkward to draw. I don't know why. He's even more difficult than Bendy himself. But as you can see, I came up with something in the end. I kind of wish they made Boris a playable character, but I guess the thing is you're just meant to be Henry through the whole thing. But I honestly really want to know like whether Henry's been turned into a character himself as well, because I don't know whether it's just the game itself, but sometimes when we're like walking through the game, I don't know, you feel like he's either really short or really tall, or the surroundings are just like a different perspective from you because you had to jump to reach the top shelf. So that's either those shelves are really tall or Henry is really short. And you know, there's been a lot of theories floating around. I don't know whether people still count this as spoilers or think it would be, but I mean, considering that Bendy's been out for at least a year, more than that, because the first time I actually drew something Bendy related, it was back in, I believe it was April 2018, I think. it's been a while. So it's been out for a while, so I would have expected that the people that are actually into it have already, played it or watched people play it, like me. So, how each person gets turned into a monster, or like technically a character, because they get put through the ink machine. I'm just wondering whether Henry actually got turned or whether he's normal, because when you see the ending, it just, the whole thing, it just kind of, doesn't really give much away. But it's the same with the books, because, I haven't been through the employee handbook yet, but I'm sure that one doesn't contain that much, like, spoiler. It's probably what we already know. But, dreams come true definitely goes deeper, gives you more details, but leaves you with nothing. It still leaves you with lots of questions. So I'm really excited to see how the Dark Revival will pan out, because, oof, that's exciting. And maybe we'll get to play as different characters, hopefully. And I wonder what's actually happened to Henry. I do wonder about him. I feel kind of bad for him. So, guess who's selling at Raycon again? Me. I always sell at Raycon. I'm trying to actually find other cons, but because Raycon is the only con that makes it easy for me to lug my art to and fro, because I've got really heavy art. I actually have a lot of art. I think my art, if it fell on me, it would kill me. So right now I'm kind of just covering Raycon. I did try to do MCM this year, but filling in the form gave me a headache, and I was like, you know what, it's too late. It's August. People probably have already bought out the thing, and I don't really want to go for Comic Village because they're really iffy about fan art. That apparently you can only sell like original art, and I'm gonna be honest, if you only sell original art, you don't really make as much, unfortunately. My original art hardly ever gets bought, so I literally survive on my fan art. Anyway, basically, if you haven't been updated on my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, I've been spamming people with my art, like a lot of it, and it's because I'm getting prepared for Raycon, and I always prepare early, so I've been quite ahead of schedule, which is great, but I'm so tired. But hey, I've done this to myself. If you do see any characters you like in the chibis I've been posting, or like the JoJo hamsters, please let me know, because I'm ordering things and I really need to get everything sorted. I've had like so many people liking my stuff on Instagram, which is great, but in terms of feedback via like PMs and people actually wanting to order them, I've had none, and it's kind of not very helpful because it's expensive to actually order keychains and even like stickers. I would say prints is the easiest and the cheapest, and you don't need to get them done ahead of time. So it'll be great to know a rough estimate of what I'm ordering, but if you guys could let me know, it'd be great. For those of you who followed me through Raycon, I hope to see you there again. It's always very exciting whenever I see people that have bought from my stall and have come back and stuff, but I really hope I'm not disappointing people, because I'm not really sure what the market's like, and I really hope I don't disappoint people with not enough new stuff. I actually have set up a poll on whether people want me to do my on-the-day commissions digitally or traditionally. So traditionally, I'll usually do it with Copics and also watercolor. And digital, I use my iPad. The Copics can add to the weight, and that's why I'm kind of contemplating, but I do have to use them up, even though I don't really get to use them in many situations. But yeah, so my polls are up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I think Instagram only lasts a day in terms of polls, but Facebook and Twitter will be for a week. So I hope I get more votes so I know what I'm doing. But so far, digital is winning. So I might have to polish up on my skills on the iPad. Because I don't really draw very often on the iPad. The Apple Pencil is good, don't get me wrong. But I feel like because I'm used to the texture and the feel, the Wacom, it's just far too smooth. And it feels really weird. It feels like I'm not like in control of my hand, it just slides off the page. And as much as I like Procreate on the iPad, it's not the same as the current program that I use for drawing. So basically, if it's traditional, you take away a physical form of the art, and if it's digital, I email it to you, but like obviously I will flatten all the layers along with my signature on top, but it's basically the same, except one of them is a physical drawing, and some people like that more. But we'll see what the people say. I really hope that more people vote, because sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to the void. But that's alright, because I actually really enjoy doing speed paints and stuff. It is kind of fun to draw and then record it. It's not very fun to edit out the clips, because on my laptop, sometimes my program freezes, or when I save a big file, which I typically work in massive DPI, so it increases file size, it would make the program I'm using freeze. So it's not fun, and I had to edit all those little bits out, and if I'm lucky and I speed it up quick enough, it gets rid of it, but most of the time I have to go in there. It's kind of like when I'm drawing traditionally, like today, I had to edit out most of the bits where my arm is just clicking away on my laptop because I'm looking for references, because it's kind of boring to look at, It does happen quite a bit, especially this time, because I was checking up on some bits on Boris, because obviously I don't draw the bendy characters as much as I'd like to. In fact, I think I'm more familiar with Viola than anyone else, because I've drawn way too much art for the Witch's House. But hey, that's very typical of me. I really hope that this year I will get to do more of these speed paints, whether or not people are actually watching them, because I personally really enjoy doing them myself, and it's kind of like a fun way and a new way to do my art. And not to mention, I do like voiceovers. My neighbors must think I'm crazy because I always am on Skype to someone, or I'm singing, or just doing the voiceovers. So they probably think I'm insane because I'm talking to myself. But for those who actually watch all my videos through, honestly, thank you, because I don't know, like, even prior to selling at cons, I didn't really think that people will give me a time of day over my art, and being told by people like that my art is beautiful or amazing is a lot more than people think it means to me. It kind of makes it feel like after all that rush and after all that stress, it was actually worth it in the end. Because, I don't know, I really enjoy seeing people at cons and selling my art. I mean, of course I enjoy the success of it, but mainly it's talking to people and seeing them, because you can still fangirl when you're behind a stall and stuff. I would definitely recommend you try selling at a con if you're interested in it, because in my experience it's been very fun. Anyways, I feel like I'm rambling on. I'm excited for the new Bendy game and for Halloween, because it's the best holiday next to Chinese New Year. And don't forget to go read Dreams Come True, or do what I did. I got the audiobook version. It's available on Audible. I'm not sponsored. Anyways, like this video if you want, subscribe if you want, or if you're on Facebook, like my page and follow it. And remember that the creator lied to us.